What's up, universe? Elliot from Starforge Systems here. Next to me is one of our Horizon 2 Ultra PCs, and I want to talk to you about what's in the PC, why it's in there, and what you can expect from its performance. Let's get right into it. The Horizon 2 Ultra has arrived. Featuring the most up-to-date hardware in its class, the Ultra is designed to provide a fantastic but flexible gaming experience. The NVIDIA RTX 4070, with its ability to make use of DLSS 3.0 and frame generation, is absolutely incredible. And its ability to perform at native resolution cannot be overstated. This graphics card performs extremely well given its relatively small power draw, but we've included an MSI MPG A850G PCIe 5 power supply for a combination of efficiency in the power drawn from the wall, as well as future expandability. You'll notice that the Horizon 2 Ultra also features ModMesh cable extensions that carry power to each of your components while allowing for a crisp overall aesthetic. Housed in a Deepcool CK560, our testing once again finds that this system remains cool and quiet while under gaming loads, and this case's front I/O is always appreciated. The MSI Pro Z790A motherboard is a fantastic pairing with our chosen processor and memory. Its additional rear I/O and onboard Wi-Fi 6E allow for plenty of connectivity, whether to peripheral devices or your favorite game servers. We've slotted an Intel Core i5-13600K in its socket and are thrilled with how this processor performs. Including 14 cores and 20 threads, this chip allows for performance in gaming workloads without sacrificing the system's ability to multitask. The LS520 AIO from Deepcool is a quiet, efficient cooler that keeps temperatures down while providing a bit more RGB to the build. We use 32 gigabytes of DDR5 6000 megatransfer memory in each of these systems to ensure snappy processing speed, as well allow for the system to have applications beyond just gaming. Finally, we've equipped it with not one, but two 1TB Z44A5 NVMe SSDs from Teamgroup. Reading up to 5,000 megabytes per second and having this much storage means that not only will load times be quick, but you'll have plenty of room for every title in your library. Now for some game tests. Check out the description below for our testing methodology, and remember that all tests are run on standardized systems, so you know exactly what to expect. We've done something a little bit different with Forza Horizon 5 this time around. Running at 1080p, the GPU rendered 156 FPS average, with actually finished frames just over 140 FPS. To get a feel for what DLSS and frame generation are capable of at 1080p, we saw the GPU render slightly less in the way of frames, 147 per second on average. However, because of AI-generated frames, the true FPS output by the system to the monitor is about 210 frames per second average, which is almost a 50% increase. Going back to native resolutions, the Horizon 2 Ultra scored 132 FPS average in frames rendered. However, we see about 124 FPS in actually finished frames. Finally, 4K tests showed the GPU rendering just about 92 FPS average, with a loss of just a couple of frames per second between the graphics card and processor, yielding about 88 FPS average. In Assassin's Creed Valhalla, we saw the Horizon 2 Ultra run at 150 FPS average at 1080p. At 1440p, while not necessarily maxing out every monitor on the market, the frame rate here is still a comfortable 115 FPS average. And at 4K with pre-configured ultra-high settings, we see 67 FPS average, which is just slightly higher than the performance we saw with an RTX 3090 in a previous gen system. In Far Cry 6, we saw rather solid 1080p performance, 157 FPS average. At 1440p, the system still runs well for a higher refresh monitor. With lows barely under 120, the average frame rate was 134 FPS average. Finally, at 4K, we saw the Horizon 2 Ultra run at 74 FPS average. We've added Rainbow Six Siege to our game testing suite. At 1080p, this game runs at a staggering 525 FPS average using Vulkan. There isn't much drop-off to speak of when moving up to 1440p. Rainbow Six Siege ran at 499 FPS average here. And at 4K, we see a loss of just 1 frame per second average, 498 FPS. Even if there's slight variation to these frame rates, they're all so similar that there's no functional difference between them. Moving on to Cyberpunk 2077, the Horizon 2 Ultra ran at 129 FPS average at 1080p. At 1440p, we still see very playable frame rates, seldomly dipping below 60. On average, we saw 82 FPS in Night City. However, 4K Ultra proves to continue to be a difficult task, running at 37 FPS average. Turning on some of the technologies NVIDIA has to offer on Ampere GPUs like the 4070, running with DLSS, frame generation, and ray tracing enabled, Cyberpunk's performance is suddenly much more bearable, 72 FPS average at 4K. While path tracing is denoted as only a technology preview, enabling it along with DLSS 3.0 and frame generation still runs better than native 4K, 45 FPS average. Wrapping up with Modern Warfare 2, our 1080p results showed the system running at 147 FPS average, 5% lows at 105 FPS, and 1% lows at 86 FPS. At 1440p, we saw the in-game benchmark run at 105 FPS average, with 5% lows at 74 FPS and 1% lows at 58 FPS. Moving up to 4K extreme settings, the system ran at 62 FPS average, with 5% lows at 42 FPS and 1% lows at 30 FPS. To highlight the improvements found from enabling DLSS using settings that are otherwise identical, 4K frame rates improved to 113 FPS average, with 5% lows at 84 FPS and 1% lows at 72 FPS. That just about covers it for the Horizon 2 Ultra, featuring products from industry leaders that deliver fantastic performance, aesthetic improvements geared to an even better looking PC, and the same bespoke craftsmanship and service that comes with each of our products. We know that this system is something you'll be proud to have as the centerpiece of your gaming setup. For yours, check out StarforgeSystems.com and be sure to swing by our Twitch live streams. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the Forge.